countdowns to the Geekcast. My name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as JC.
Hey, everybody.
And we also got the man behind the magic, the one and only Joe Garcia.
Yeah, I'm surprised JC's not sporting his Titans hat. I got my Cowboys hat on, even though we both our teams lost. What's up, JC?
One, I just got back from my daughter's softball practice, but yeah. Wait till Wednesday. I need a day to mourn. I'm still a little pissed off about yesterday's game. So when I record Sports Minorities on Wednesday, maybe I'll be in a better mood. And yeah, look for that wherever you get your podcasts. We're an audio podcast now, Sports Minorities.
I was just about to say, Sports Minorities. Tell the good folks at home what that's all about, man.
That's myself, Nori, Super Asian Rob, not Rob from the Geekcast. That's Chicken Wing and DJ. We basically do a season long. We pick our regular season picks. Whoever has the most picks at the end of the season, we're all paying that guy $20. So every week we are picking our NFL winners, recapping the previous week, talking a lot of shit about our favorite sports teams. And this year, a lot of us are going to be playing each other sports team wise, and it's mostly talking football, occasionally other sports as well. We are an audio podcast now. Check us out wherever you get your podcast. Just search Sports Minorities, and you should be able to find us.
Instead of having to pay something, I think I would rather take a dip in the little fountain over there by the Tower of Americas.
Is that an option? Can we make that happen, JC?
No.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. No one would take it seriously. You put money on the line, they get a little more serious about it, but we still have fun with it. One guy on the show thought that this Ravens-Raiders game was going to be a shootout. And we can't wait to razz him on Wednesday because, 27 points combined is not a shootout for whatever reason. So, yeah.
There you go. There you have it. Well, welcome back to the Geekcast, the weekly talk show where we discuss any and all things comic book movies, TV shows, sci-fi films, the whole nine, and a lot of news and updates as well. Up on the docket today, we're going to talk all about the Hawkeye trailer, which was just released this morning. Hope you had a chance to catch that. Looks like a lot of fun, unless you're Joe. We're also going to... Sorry, Joe. We're also going to talk about this past week's What If Marvel series. Fun, good stuff that happened there. We're also going to talk about some geeky weekly updates, some little tidbits, headlines that you might have missed, including some announcements from the PlayStation Showcase live stream, which happened last Thursday, I believe. But first, the reason why we're all excited today is all about the Matrix Resurrection trailer, which we got late last week. And it was just mind blowing, looks completely insane. You can kind of get a little bit of the plot and the story that they're going for. The Matrix has not been the same ever since the Revolutions movie that we got way back when. Neo looks different. Trinity looks different. Do we even have a Morpheus? I think we do, but a little more about that later on. But we're all here to talk about it. We also want to get your thoughts as well. If you saw the Matrix trailer, hopefully you checked it out on our Facebook page or somewhere else. Let us know what you think, what you thought about it. What were your big takeaways from it? What sort of intrigues you the most? What are you most excited for? Or maybe, just maybe, you're not excited at all, and we want to find out why. We want to hear all about it. Joe, I want to start with you, man. You saw the trailer. They had the whole tease the day before where you got little tidbits, little glimpses, little clips of what was going to happen, and then we got the full trailer the next day. Your initial thoughts, sir? What did you think about it?
I don't know, man. I like certain things and I didn't like certain things, so I'm kind of on the fence right now as far as what to expect, and I think
what gives you cause? What gives you reason for pause? Pause, yeah.
The thing that gives me a little bit of a pause is when you're trying to basically do a reboot of the first movie and you see a lot of those elements here in this movie.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking for something new, something different, a continuation of the story, not a rehash, and what I was thinking of would have been great is if you have a new Neo, not necessarily the old Neo, because you're always going to have the one in whatever version of the Matrix you're going to have. I would have rather see a new slew of characters, maybe this set in the far future, to see what if the treaty is still holding up, between the humans and the machines. But with the new cast of characters, yes, you can make references. Maybe you could have a little cameo of when maybe one of the old characters walk in the street or something, you know. But when you're bringing in the old crew
Yeah.
into the trailer and it's still hanging on to the old ways, the red pill, the blue pill. It's still kind of the same rehash of the same story. I wanted something totally different, totally new that would kind of distance itself and have its own identity. This one just seems to be clinging too much to nostalgia. And to me, that's when films kind of get themselves in trouble when they do that, as we saw with the latest rendition of Star Wars, you know, and they try to hang on to a lot of the older characters and it kind of lost itself. That's what I'm afraid of with the Matrix.
I understand your position. I really do. Could this be a story where the creator, I think is what they call him, Colonel Kentucky Fried Chicken guy,
The
um,
architect.
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 Yes.
Could this be a story where they're trying to tell of a rebirth of the anomaly, the one, the chosen one,
That's what I think.
Neo again? So is this just another reboot, another revolution,
Mm,
resurrection
well, yeah,
of that character? Could that be what they're trying to do here?
I think so. I mean, to date, from the original movies trilogy, the only characters they've really brought back are Neo and Trinity. And what we know about them is that both of them died in Machine City. So it's
Or
very
did they?
possible. Huh?
Or did they?
Well, here's
Ooh,
my theory on it, and this is just from watching it. I haven't read any spoilers. I haven't read any plot potential plot points or what people are speculating. Just from watching the trailer, from what I'm guessing, like they're the only ones that are at least their characters are alive. And what the architect has always talked about is how Neo is a part of a systemic anomaly. Every time this cycles, they destroy Zion. He picks men and women to come out and start a new Zion, and the process continues. And when the revolutions ended, the architect talks to the oracle, and it says, "How long do you expect this peace to last?" And they didn't know. My guess is it didn't last very long. And my thought is that Neo and Trinity's bodies were just simply reinserted into the Matrix. And for all we know, knowing that he's already an anomaly to begin with, they've just kept him on blue pills to keep him subdued. Uh, he's on an addiction, and essentially he's on a pill addiction. They keep prescribing him to keep him from breaking out and starting this over again. So for all we know, they're trying to control the one from coming out and destroying the Matrix. It's what it seems like to me. Um, and so it's almost like the machines didn't learn their lesson that they need each other to survive. The machines need humans jacked into the Matrix to survive. Humans need machines to basically power Zion and everything. So
yeah.
there's still agent fights. There's still a lot of red pills breaking out. There's still, again, the problem is choice. That's something they're getting back to with the website. First of all, this what is the matrix.com? If you recall, back when the original trilogy was out, and they took the site down originally, God, there were so many Easter eggs for an old HTML and Flash site. It was so much fun to try and go through and get all of them. And so for them to at least tease us with every time you click on red or blue pill, you got a little something different. There's like 180,000 possibilities of footage that you could see, which is pretty amazing. But
And a timestamp, and it would tell
at a
you
timestamp,
the
exactly
exact
what time
time
was
you're
on your
watching it,
computer.
which
Yeah,
blew my mind. Like,
yeah.
what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? How you doing that, bro?
They're watching us. They're watching us. Yeah. So, but my only promise on this is that one of the Wachowskis is directing this. This is
Lana.
Lana,
Right.
right? This is her story. So in that respect, it's like, okay, it's not. They didn't hand it to somebody else and have them rehash the story. This is their baby, and they're going off of it. So, but really, it feels to me like this is Neo again suddenly coming to the realization that he's something's different, and Trinity's
Yeah.
along for the ride too, and it's like they're meeting each other again. So
I had an
that's kind of
idea
what I
though.
think.
The only thing that would make this different and unique is if you have a warring faction between the machines themselves, those who look to
Ooh,
uphold the treaty and
that's
those who
new.
want to
Yeah,
defect, and
yeah,
go back to the way things used to be, you know?
Like you wonder if the rogue programs have got more power. Like the Merovingian's still there.
Yeah.
You know, he how much power has he got inside the Matrix? And but yeah, I agree with you. I would love to see the machines are themselves warring. It's a three-way kind of war. So
Yeah. It would be interesting to see a new type of being come to fruition from the machines themselves. No, really. I mean,
yeah.
like they've already become self-aware, but if you have something that's kind of almost like flesh and blood but still machine, that would be
Yeah.
interesting. A new type of being coming into existence. So, I'm just
So
getting
like what
way out
Ultron was
there.
trying to do, basically, is
Yeah.
coming. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, just something out there, way out in
yeah.
far left field. I mean, that would be pretty interesting.
Can I just say that I sort of like the same beats that we're following, because I think that it's very cyclical, and it's very reminiscent, and I feel like it's going to take us down a very familiar road, but then take a huge turn or give us a big twist. There's going to be a big curve in the road, and it's going to be something very interesting for us to experience. You got the pills, the blue and the red pills. I like that. It's more of a, oh, what's that? It's more of a societal thing now, where everybody's taking them on
Right.
a daily basis. It's very much like Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. That
Uh,
was yes, where they always had to take some like medicine to
yes,
keep them calm. That was a freaking movie. Yeah,
great movie.
it
That
was a
was
great movie. Yeah, it was.
very very Matrix like as well. I can't remember
Yeah.
which was first, but I remember they were very close in releases.
Let me check. I think the Matrix was first, but I'll check. Matrix was
Oh,
'99, so Equilibrium movie.
and that featured
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Great movie. If you haven't seen
Equilibrium.
it,
Equilibrium was 2002, so it was after the Matrix. Yeah,
after the Matrix. There
yeah.
you go. So yeah, very same similar beat of society's taking these pills that sort of keeps them subdued, or keeps them going throughout their daily routines without creating any revolt. Just keeping them in line. It's not what we want in real life, but it's something that we're very familiar with seeing in a movie. Um, the cat, seeing the
Deja
cat,
vu.
the deja vu stuff, seeing Trinity in that small room with the telephone in the middle. These are very similar scenes from the original film. And we also later see Neo running through some sort of warehouse. There's a projector, and on this projector is actually showing a scene from the original Matrix film. This is going to be very meta, and the more meta you make it, WB, Wachowski, anybody really, I think the better. I want a unique experience. I want you to blow our minds. I heard one of my friends, friend of the show actually, Will Pittman, who's a streamer on Twitch. He was actually saying, it doesn't feel like the Matrix because it doesn't have that sort of greenish hue to everything now. And I responded saying, well, let's remember the last scene from like
Revolutions.
Revolutions. The Matrix was sort of changed forever. You no longer had that hue within the Matrix. It was bright, sunny, colorful. Like it was an ever-changing, permanent change in the Matrix itself. So I think it's staying within continuity, but it feels too much, not in a bad way. It feels too much like they're giving us the first movie, to where I expect us to take a big curve or a big turn somewhere down the road. Morpheus. Let's talk about Morpheus. There's
Is
sort
it
of
Morpheus?
I reports are saying that I always forget how to say his name, but yeah, what's his
You pull
name?
it up.
Yeah, I forget his name. Yaya
Yeah.
something. The guy who plays Black Manta in Aquaman. I
Okay.
should know his name better, but he might be playing a version of Morpheus. I don't think we're gonna get the original actor who played him, which is unfortunate because he was sort of one of the big reasons. Lawrence Fishburne. He was one of the big reasons
Yeah.
why I think the Matrix was so successful. He just had such a unique um, tone, and brought the Morpheus character just to life, and everybody just loved his the way he delivered his lines, the way he fought, his sort of charisma without being too flamboyant about things, just everything. The way he taught Neo all the things that he needed to teach him, the fights within the Matrix, within the dojo, all of that stuff. Great, but reports are saying we're not going to get Lawrence Fishburne and Yaya. What's his name?
Yeah, Abdul Mateen.
There you go. He may be portraying another version of Morpheus. I know that's going to bum out a lot of fans.
Well, it kind of harkens back to my theory that this is another systemic anomaly. So you get different versions of all these same people. And for all we know, in all the previous versions of the anomaly that there have been, we know of 6, including Neo from Matrix Revolutions. Maybe there was always a Morpheus. There was a Morpheus that led the one to realize who he was, so that he could reinsert himself back into the Matrix and start the process over again. So
Same thing with
we may,
Trinity. You know,
yeah, we'll see another Trinity, we'll see another Neo, we'll see another Morpheus,
Another
we'll
Agent Smith.
another agents. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've upgraded the agents by now, obviously. Um, so it's possible some of the same characters are going to look different because they're just other versions of the anomalies. Why Neo and Trinity may look the same is because they had those bodies in Machine City and they just reinserted them back in.
yeah,
That's my theory.
I think
Yeah.
what we're seeing here is when you're seeing Morpheus, he doesn't look quite like himself. I
It's
think
younger.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's showing that it's the same character. He's just different. His appearance is different. I think the same
Yeah.
thing's going to happen with both Trinity and with Neo. I think we saw a little glimpse of that when Neo was looking into the mirror and he saw himself in somebody else's body.
Right?
I think that they're just showing the characters as reference on the screen so you're familiar with this is who they're supposed to represent, not who they actually will be in the actual Matrix itself. In the
Yeah.
simulation, they could be in another body, but it's that same person, you know?
Yeah.
I
Jada Pinkett Smith is going to be back as Niobe, so I'm curious to see how she's still around. By the way, so that'll be interesting.
That will be interesting
Mhm.
because if Morpheus is a younger version of himself, why would Niobe be back and Jada is older in real life?
Maybe
And
if they destroyed
he's
Zion, she's the sole survivor of the original Zion.
could be, which they shouldn't though, right? If they
Yeah.
shouldn't have destroyed Zion because the peace has been set
How
between the
long did that
machines
piece
and the
last?
human
Yeah.
race. I don't think that I think that what I would do and what I want is for us to go down a very similar road of the original Matrix film until he sort of has the revelation of this isn't real, this is all a simulation, we need to unplug. But I want the plot to be different. I don't want it to be humans versus machines, and I can't think of what else it would be. But as of right now, maybe another virus is manipulating the machines and trying to break the treaty. But I don't want this to be a very Terminator 2, Terminator 3 deal where like Terminator 2, we destroyed all the remnants of Skynet. Armageddon shouldn't happen, and then Terminator 3,
Well, it
Armageddon
was software
happens.
because it was
Huh?
software because it was software after all, not
They
hardware.
they didn't even give you the reason though. They just said you can't stop Armageddon. That was a like legit literal line in Terminator 3. You
It's
can't
yeah,
stop the end of the world. So it was like that was the reason they gave us. So I don't
yeah.
want it to be that. I want it to be a good explanation for whatever plot they have going on, but I don't mind going down memory lane with like the first half of this film.
I will say the one character I'm interested to see what's happened to is Santi. If you recall, she's the little girl, the rogue program, the little girl who's the Oracle's taking care of her at the end.
She
Yeah.
made the sunset.
She's the one that adds the color to the
Yeah.
Matrix. She's the one that gives it. So you mentioned the bright colors and the HD graphics, if you with HD look of it. What has happened to her? She's older now, obviously. Uh, you know, is she somehow involved in all this plot? Because she would be an old enough, young enough program to remember Neo and everything else that went on back in the 20. How long has it been? Almost 20 years ago.
Shoot, yeah.
So that's who I'm interested to see, and they haven't if they haven't put her on any cast lists, uh, keep that hidden because if she's somehow involved with this, I think that'd be pretty cool. A little Easter egg, you
But
know.
you kind of have to make her the same age, right? Or do you have to age her up? Because
You
what
kind of have
would
to.
make more sense?
She's a program, so in that
So she shouldn't age up.
you could say
Nope.
she aged up, and maybe she's programmed to look that way. You know,
I'm
Well,
just thinking out loud.
if she does art and she alters certain things in the Matrix, maybe she can alter her own appearance. You know,
no.
Yeah,
um, it's the storyline wise had to explain why the Oracle had to do that because obviously the original Oracle actress passed away before they could film Revolution, so they got a different actress and just kind of she had to redo her look to stay hidden kind of thing. That's how they wrote that bit off. So there's an establishment there for it. While she's a program, so they can still age and things like that, but they just appear human. So maybe who knows?
this is 18 years after the Matrix Revolutions, which I loved, but I also understand why. Like, I think people were kind of over the Matrix hype. 2 and 3 were 6 months apart, which like
Yeah,
that had never been done before.
check
Filming
that. Back to the
two,
Future 2 and 3 actually did that.
really 6 months?
6 months apart.
Wow, I didn't know it was 6 months. I thought
Yeah,
a little longer, but yeah. Uh, at the time, I guess I never knew anybody to do that.
yeah.
So yeah, filming them that close together, filming them back to back,
And the
releasing
video game.
them, and the video game,
Yeah.
and then there was the anime. When did that come out?
Well, the
The
Animatrix was
short film.
released. Those were released before Reloaded,
There you
and
go.
those were really a lot of animated shorts. The one that really tied into the movies was the Flight of the Osiris, which was like the 3D one.
That was amazing.
Yes, that was amazing. The Kid was another good one because that one didn't. That was involved. He obviously was a main part of 2 and 3. He's the little kid you see. His is an interesting story. If you guys haven't seen the Animatrix yet, I recommend watching it. Watch it in Japanese with English subtitles. It's so much better. But his is a story where he unjacked himself out of the Matrix by himself without taking a red pill. He just knew what was up, and he was able to do it to save his own life. And there's some interesting stories out there. There's a world record sprinter who was so concentrated, ran so fast, he literally ran out of the Matrix and out into the real world. That's how much of an athlete he was. So there's some very, very interesting stories watching the Animatrix. There's a two-part origin story to how all this came to be. It is very graphic, so don't let your kids watch it. But if you can find a copy of the Animatrix, check it out. I think it's well worth it. And I probably plan to watch it again because I want to see how much of that is still going to be called into Matrix Resurrections.
I think
You know,
it's streaming.
do they have it streaming on HBO Max as well?
They
Because I
have
know
it
they have the
streaming
Matrix film on
somewhere.
HBO Max. I'm sure
It
somebody has it.
yeah. And this one might also be streaming on HBO Max when it gets released. That was the original
Yes,
plan.
it still is in December. Yes.
There you go. December 22nd is a release date. I just looked it up, and Lawrence Fishburne actually gave a quote, said, "No, I have not been invited. Maybe that will make me write another play. I'm looking for the blessing in that. I wish them well. I hope it's great." And then the story goes on to say the reasoning might be due to the 2005 video game The Matrix Online, in which Morpheus
He dies.
is killed and the game is considered canon in the Matrix universe. Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
was a
possible.
continuation of the actual story.
Yeah, that's right. It did.
that's hardcore if you
Which,
go that far. Although, but Yaya is supposed to play a version of
like I
Morpheus. I
said, it
I
could be
think he's
another anomaly or another version, another cycle.
there. You
Yeah,
go. I think he's confirmed that, so that's pretty awesome. Um, Christina Ricci is also in this film. We
she's
saw a
so
little bit
hot.
of Priyanka Chopra, Jonas, Jonathan Groff, who's incredible, incredible actor. Sorry, Neil Patrick Harris. You already mentioned Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't think we're gonna get Agent Smith. I think we might get a version of Agent Smith,
It's
but
Agent Johnson is the main one that I've seen, but
mm,
Agent Smith, Neo killed Agent Smith with the machine's help. That was the whole point
Mm,
of
but
Revolutions.
that's the
They,
thing. You have one, you can't have one without the other.
we'll see.
That was sort of a big thing. Yin yang, yeah,
Yeah,
all
he
that
was
good
the
stuff.
opposite, but
Yep.
he didn't become that until he
He got a little bit of
unjacked.
Neo's code. Yeah.
Yeah, he unjacked Agent Smith in the first movie, and he set him free, and now he was his equal, his opposite, as you said.
Yeah.
So
But the Matrix always has a yin and a yang. So there has to be
yeah,
somebody else who's going to assume that position of the villain.
there's a
you know?
We
balance.
shall
Yeah.
see.
So,
And
We
there
shall
was an
see.
interesting part of the trailer, though, when Neo was talking to it, what appeared to be another character. It could have been an agent or could have been the Merovingian, just looking different, and he's like, can't believe you're going to go back to the Matrix where it all started. I think that might have been the end of the film. For some reason, they're going to have
mhm.
to go back to the original program where it all started.
Yeah, very possible.
Very, very well could be. Those are our thoughts on the Matrix. Let us know what you thought about the trailer. Drop it in the comments below, or you can always message us on Facebook by clicking the send message button. Real quick, I want to dive into the world of PlayStation. Hopefully, you were lucky enough to catch the PlayStation showcase last week. I was sort of doing updates as video games were dropping. We got some trailers for things we already knew that were coming out, and we also got some announcements for some video games that we weren't expecting anytime soon, but still exciting nonetheless. The first one I will talk about is just a teaser that we got, but I know it's crazy. It's just insane. Insomniac Games announced exclusively for PlayStation the Marvel Wolverine game from the
There
people
you
that brought
go.
you the Spider-Man game. We're getting a video game featuring Wolverine, and just a teaser, right? Short clip. It was like 20 seconds long, something like that.
Mhm.
But dude, exciting. JC, your thoughts on the Wolverine announcement?
You don't need a lot. You just say, "Hey, Wolverine's getting his own game. I think we're good." That's all you need to
Pretty
sell
much
the
it.
game.
That's
You
pretty
know?
much it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've seen some of these Marvel games before featuring Wolverine, and they haven't fared so well, JC.
Yeah, I know, but this one actually, they're gonna get in. If it's the same makers of the Spider-Man games, they're gonna deep dive into this, and
It'll be different this time.
it'll be different. It'll be good. I hope it's an open world thing. I Good God, give me a motorcycle for him to travel wherever he needs to go. Give me the full attitude. Make it R rated. Let's or T or rated M for
Since
mature
it
for
is a
video game
video
wise.
game, JC, maybe they can have Deadpool make an appearance.
Wait, what? Have you played the Deadpool game? Because it's so good. Yeah, that pushed the TV or the M rating to the crazy level. So I expect that from Wolverine. I'm really interested to see what they do, and if Hugh Jackman doesn't voice the character, I hope they get some random person to cameo with Hugh Jackman's voice just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
They did announce one thing too. They announced Spider-Man 2 with special guest Venom. So that'll
There
be
you
And Miles
go.
interesting.
Morales, yeah.
Yeah.
You beat me to it. Yeah, Miles Morales, Peter Parker, and at the end of the trailer, we got Venom's voice,
Yeah.
and he just looked glorious in the shadows of that alleyway. Spider-Man 2 announced. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait a while. Uh,
It's fine.
expect to be released in 2023. So, fantastic announcement. The only downside is you're not gonna get anything next year. Gonna be the following year.
I,
Hopefully, early 2023. But
I
I mean,
still need
best
to play
bet the
Spider-Man.
holiday.
I still need to play Spider-Man Miles Morales anyway. So to set that game up. So it
It's
gives me time.
ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. And lastly, the kind of the biggest takeaway from PlayStation Showcase for me is a remake of the old Knights of the Old Republic game. This was an Xbox
Remastered.
exclusive when it came out. This is an official remake,
Remake
and
or remaster?
they call it remake.
Oh, okay.
They
Hmm.
call it remake, which gives, which
Well, it's actually a
might what
remastering.
might well you can keep saying that. I'm gonna keep saying remake because it's in the title card
They
for the
said
game.
remastering though. That's how they named it.
What's the official title? What's
Official
the
title: Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. Now,
Asper is a remastering, the acclaimed
before y'all say anything
RPG.
Go
else,
ahead, Ted. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
in my head, that that leads me to believe that this will play the same story as Knights of the Old Republic, but we might get a different gameplay style than Knights of the Old Republic. It might not be turn based like how we got in the original KOTOR game. Maybe it'll be a little bit more sort of freestyle playing, or like the fighting style will be more free than turn based, because that's how KOTOR was, turn based play. You know,
JC, it is
so
coming to
I'm hoping
PCs as
so.
well.
What's up?
It is coming to PCs as well.
Correct.
Good.
Later.
Yeah, that's fine. I expected that. It did that originally too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
definitely. I don't think it's going to be that lengthy, but it will be exclusively released on PS5 first, and then it will be released on PC later. Hopefully not much longer, because I gotta play it.
And Xbox
Revan,
too, I assume, because it was an Xbox exclusive originally.
you're absolutely right,
It
and there's
was.
nothing that says anything about Xbox regarding this
Not
game.
yet. They might wait a year. It is officially remake. I get that. So that tells me there's some elements of the story they may change. But
Sure.
what this is really going to do is officially make this Knights of the Old Republic storyline part of the Star Wars canon. Because technically, as of right now, it's still the Legends. It's the pre-Disney timeline. So I guess what they're doing right now is whatever happens in this game is going to be the new canon on the Knights of the Republic, how it relates to the post Disney merger, the post Disney
Which
decline. So
which if you read some of the reports that we had discussed on this show, Revan was supposed to be in one of the recent movies for Star Wars. He was actually going to be, no, wait a minute. No, not Star Wars movie. It was going to be in, not Clone
Mandalorian,
Wars, not Clone Wars. What's the other one? The animated one.
Bad Batch.
Not Bad Batch.
Clone Wars, Bad Batch.
Maybe it was Clone Wars. I think it might have been
Oh,
Clone.
Rebels. No,
It's either
there's a
Rebels.
lot.
You're right. You're right. It might have been Clone Wars, where there was supposed to be a scene that involved Revan, kind of not too far ago, but it was not in the most recent season, but one of the seasons before that. Supposed to be a scene that included Revan actually talking to Anakin, and that would have been huge. And never happened. They decided to pull him at the last second for whatever reason. So Revan's not officially canon, but I like where JC's head's at. I hope that they actually do something to kind of make it canon, and you don't have to affect sort of the current situation with Star Wars. This is 1,000 years before anything, right? So
Yeah, this is
you
your Star Trek Discovery kind of thing.
there you
You
go. So
can
you
talk
can
about
set the
things happening
foundation.
pre-timeline. Yeah, pre-Kelvin timeline. Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. You can establish this foundation for all of Star Wars and add little tidbits here and there. Um, Create the what's it called? Show us the creation of the chosen one mythos, right?
The
All of that,
prophecy.
the prophecy
Yeah.
stuff. Show us that getting created. Who's the guy that wrote that down, or just show us how that all planned out. So that'd be pretty cool. You do that. But yeah, excited. Big KOTOR fan. Played the sequel as well. Never got into the MMO. Really
Those are
wanted
hard.
a solid third game. And never got it. So this is gonna make up for that, I hope. And then maybe we'll get more games after the fact. That'd be exciting. Joey, any more thoughts on the KOTOR game?
No, just interested to see what they're going to do with it. What little elements might them, what might they change in the remastering slash remake of the game, and I wonder if there's going to be any differences as far as the overall, I guess, detail of the game when it transitions from a console over to PC. I wonder what other elements are going to be included with that, because they always add a little bit more to PC games.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right
aside
about
from the
that.
graphical support and everything like that,
Mhm.
let's see what else they do. Exactly.
Some little extras here and there.
Extra DLCs.
Yep.
And then
There you
people
go.
are gonna go crazy with the mods once it's on PC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right.
You know, I,
That is.
If we're done with PlayStation, you might have to talk about Star Trek Day because that was last week. I don't know if you guys knew that. But
I
I
did.
did not. I did not talk about it,
I
but
love
I
me some
yeah,
did
Star
see the
Trek.
new trailer for Prodigy, which looked pretty cool.
that wasn't the only trailer they had either.
Ooh, do tell, do tell.
Yeah, so Star Trek Day, by the way, it's 55 years since the original series of Star Trek began. That's what Star Trek Day was. And they did finally give us a trailer and a release date for the fourth season of Star Trek Discovery, November 18th. That begins on Paramount Plus. Star Trek Picard season 2, we got a trailer for that. It starts in February, and Picard is going to be doing a little time traveling
Ooh,
to the
finally.
year 2021.
What?
Imagine that. Go look up
He's.
the trailer. He's going to be doing some sort of mission where he's got to time travel back to our time, our modern world.
I'm
So,
like, he's not gonna like what he sees.
and we also got a bit more of a cast announcements on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. If you haven't been following Star Trek, I actually finally caught up myself because my friend Kathy, Trekkie Kathy, has been telling me you got to watch Discovery, and
Yeah, it was good.
Discovery is great. And even if you're not a Star Trek fan, this is the series to watch. If you haven't watched a lick of
Bless you,
Star Trek,
kid.
this is a good one to watch. There's not a lot of crazy sci-fi jargon. It's very easy to follow, and it does such a good job of. It's a prequel, then it becomes like a far out sequel where they just got some free reign. It's so good.
Really good story. Really good story, and
Yes,
really interesting characters.
especially season 2, and Strange New Worlds is going to be a spin-off off of season 2 on that, with Captain Pike, and basically a true prequel to the original series.
Yep.
Then chatting with Kathy, by the way, once Discovery gets going close to it, she and I might be, surprise, surprise, Ted, recording some Star Trekky themed episodes for the Countdown City Geeks
Awesome.
here, either on YouTube or on audio podcasts. So we're excited for Discovery. We're kind of excited for Picard because neither one of us really likes how season 1 ended.
You didn't
But
like it? It was really good.
it was good up until the ending. It kind of made me cringe. We'll
I
talk
gotta
about
I
that
gotta
later.
finish it. I gotta finish it.
It was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
But then, the Strange New Worlds we're excited for. And there's long been a rumored spinoff also of Discovery that's going to completely follow Section 31. And if you've been watching Discovery, you know what we're talking about. Because if you give Michelle Yeoh her own Star Trek series, it's going to be damn good. So
And don't
let's
forget
hope.
Lower Decks as well.
Lower Decks, yeah. I've heard it's really good. I need to start watching that more, but
It's
I've
funny.
heard it's pretty entertaining. Yeah, so, but happy Star Trek Day for those Trekkies out there that might have missed it. And stay tuned because I think we'll be getting a lot more
I'm a
Star Trek
Trekkie. You
content.
got to do it, JC.
Yes, live long and prosper. Yeah. By the way, Ravens and Raiders, it looks like they're going to overtime.
Oh no.
Wow.
The Ravens just tied it with 2 seconds left on a field
And
goal.
earlier in the day, everybody was saying, "Don't get cute with those bets. Don't count out. Don't."
This has been a weird weekend of football. Starting with Saturday, there's so many college upsets, and yesterday was even crazier. So,
UTSA won big, so there you go,
oh yeah,
JC.
yes, at
And
least
the
that happened.
Longhorns lost big, so you have that as well.
But at least Tina and I had the Runners win and the Bobcats win, which, by the way, the Texas State Bobcat football team got a lot of love for their 9/11 tribute helmets and uniforms. I got to admit, those were the best ones in the country. They were featured prominently on ESPN Game Day. Had the names of all 19 Texas residents or people from Texas who perished in the 9/11 attacks 20 years ago on the helmets, which I thought was really cool. So,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Another game I did watch, by the way, real quick, because we're getting off topic, is I watched the New York Mets and the Yankees game because
Yeah.
of 9/11. That was always well done, you know. So,
and then on 9/12 they had a big fight. So,
yeah,
there's that.
there you go, man.
Mets Yankees.
Yep.
There you go. Don't expect anything different than that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that is the PlayStation Showcase. Little Star Trek thrown in there. Let's talk about the big trailer that dropped today. This morning, Hawkeye was released, the new trailer, and 8 episodes. It's gonna drop in November on November 24th.
24th. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Towards
kind of
22nd.
right around the
Okay.
corner. We're a couple of months away from it. And yeah, this looks like a fun
No.
series. It's around the holidays.
I
Some
think Joe hates
There
Christmas.
he goes.
interesting.
Ted's overhyping it again, man.
Huh?
Ted's overhyping again.
This listen, this looks like a fun series. It looks like a fun ride, right?
Mhm.
Jeremy Renner, he's back to his old Clint Barton self. Haley Steinfeld's in this. She's fun. She's funny in the trailer. Florence Pugh's going to be in this series somewhere. Vera Farmiga, who I love her in all the Conjuring films. I think she's fantastic. So I have some high expectations. I think this is going to be a fun little ride here. Supposed to get 8 episodes. You can clearly see that they're basing this in the holiday season somewhere, and some interesting things to point out.
Excuse me.
Clint Barton's wife is actually missing from a lot of this trailer,
Maybe they got a
and
divorce.
I mean, maybe, but with everything they went through,
He made a
the
lot of
blip
enemies, Ted. He became a
could
different
be
Did
man.
the stuff that he did in those 5 years finally catch up to him? I mean,
possibly, but you don't keep the kids if you're trying to keep them safe and your wife isn't safe
It
anymore.
looks like they were over for Christmas vacation, Ted.
mhm.
Ooh, okay. That
It's
might be
true.
it. That
It's
could
a
be it.
manifest thing. If you watch Manifest, you disappear for 5 years and the whole world goes nuts, and then you come back. What's supposed to go on here? So
Any more thoughts about it, Joe? Give us your thoughts, man. I know you're
I
dying
don't
to
know,
tell us what you
man.
think.
I didn't feel it, dude. I just didn't like it all that much. It's kind of the same taste that a diet root beer or a diet Big Red leaves in your mouth. It's just not the same. This just doesn't smell the same, doesn't look the same. Something was off. I don't know what it was, but it tried too hard, man. It just didn't pull me in and really get my interest. I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot, but I'm just after I saw what I saw from the trailer, I'm not expecting much.
All right, all right.
mm.
JC, what about you, man?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I feel like there's a little bit of a little comedy involved with Haley Steinfeld. I'm curious to see how she gets in this. So that's gonna be the interesting part. But I can already tell this might have like a slow build up to begin with, and then the action might pick up.
Jericho's gonna get lost. He's not
Yeah,
gonna watch it. I'm gonna wait for all six to come out.
probably he's gonna master of the binge watch arches, Jericho. So he'll wait till they're all out. But yeah, how does the story fit in? He had a dark 5 years in the time that he lost his whole family.
Right.
How much is that going to weigh on his kids, on his wife, and how those things are catching up to him? So that's going to be the interesting part of it.
Is Rogers the musical a big hit? On
Oh my
Broadway.
god.
We got a little
Look,
flash, a little glimpse of that,
I hate
little
show
Hamilton
tunes, man.
style.
I hate
now that
show
they showed
tunes.
that, Lin-Manuel Miranda needs to write the damn thing and make it happen.
Please,
Yes.
please.
No. No.
Why?
I'm
He's
gonna
I
help
great
hate
at
you.
show
it.
tunes,
I'm gonna help
man.
you, Lynn.
Did you
Lynn,
not like Hamilton?
let me know if you need help
Did you see In
writing
the
the
Heights?
lyrics, Lynn.
I tried, man. Just not my thing, dude.
Did you watch In the Heights? In the Heights is
Jo-
amazing.
I
Joe,
tried, man. It's just
Hamilton
not
is
my thing.
amazing. What's
It's
wrong with
just
you,
not
Joe?
my thing, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like
Awesome,
theater. I don't
awesome
like
art
theater.
isn't your thing. Great
I don't
music,
like
great
theater,
singing.
man. I don't like theater. I don't like show tunes, man.
So you just don't like musicals?
No, I hate musicals, bro.
Oh, come on,
I
man.
never
Grease
liked
is
Little
Manteca.
amazing.
Shop of Horrors,
Phantom of the
Grease.
Opera, Grease,
Not
Come
West
my
Side
on.
thing.
Story.
Not my thing, bro.
Man.
Wasn't a fan of Grease when I was a kid, when I was forced to watch it. As an adult, when I was forced to watch it, still didn't like it.
You know
That
what?
thing you do? Come on, Joe.
If we ever make a bet, I'm gonna make sure that on the line is you have to watch Grease 2 and love it
Mm-mm.
and sing every
No,
song. So
man. I'll take a hard pass. Unless you make it a drinking game, then maybe I'll watch.
Oh my gosh. If you make a
Oh,
drinking game with any Lin-Manuel Miranda musical, you're gonna be drunk halfway through the show. There's a
Sounds
lot of
that
things
sounds
to
like a good time to me. All right. I'm here for the
In the
drunk.
Heights is really good though. That's especially from a Hispanic history kind of thing. I think it's really cool. So a lot of culture in it. But
this looks like a fun series. There you got chase scenes, you got all these stunts that they're giving us in the trailer. I already mentioned Haley. She's hilarious in this trailer. And then there's even a quick shot of Clint. Looks like he's either at a Renaissance festival, but more importantly, it looks like he's LARPing. So he's actually like LARPing with a group of other participants, and he's like fighting them all off with a sword. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Yeah, it looks hysterical. So I'm excited. I don't know how it's going to compare against the other series that Wanda dealt with a lot of magic. Loki dealt with a lot of alternate universes, time travel, cosmic things. Like this is way more grounded than those two shows. So it's probably not gonna be fair to put it up
I
against
think I'm
those.
gonna do it, Jericho. I'm gonna wait for all six to come out, and then I'll watch them all at once.
At,
8. I think we're
at,
getting 8
Oh, there you
episodes.
go. Eight.
at first glance, it feels a little bit along the lines of in tone as Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Sure.
That's just for at first glance is what I kind of get the feeling of.
But I
But just
actually
around,
like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, man. This one just I ain't feeling it, man.
maybe you'll like this one too. Who knows?
No,
What do you
dude, I
mean?
don't
It
know.
feels like Die Hard. Feels like a
No,
crime
not even,
caper
dude.
around the
Not
holiday. Come
even.
on, Joe.
Die Hard. No, mom is dead.
Yippee-ki-yay. Come on, Joe.
No, mamis. You're reaching now. You're reaching.
All right, those are the thoughts. JC, anything left to talk about regarding the trailer?
No, I mean they just got your basic stuff. Although if Hawkeye goes kindergarten what's the movie where Jingle All the Way, where Schwarzenegger's
Oh
trying
my
to find that
god.
one toy. If he has to get a Christmas toy, that'd be hilarious.
He got
Yeah,
toe.
exactly. Yeah, this is going to be Disney's Christmas series, and
Nobody likes you, Booster.
yeah, yeah. So I'm curious to see how this runs out, and what other Marvel movies are going to be out by then? Spider-Man, um,
Yeah.
the Eternals.
Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that Shang-Chi's out as well, I wonder if
Well, no.
these are
So Spider-Man will be out in December.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hawkeye is late November, so we'll get Eternals by then.
Right, and I wonder since you said Hawkeye is 8 episodes, that means it's going to start before Spider-Man and finish after Spider-Man. So
Probably so.
if they do one episode a week, and if that's the case, how are they? Is there going to be a cliffhanger after Hawkeye that's going to tie into the rest of the movies going forward?
Also,
That's
not excited about Eternals, and if it is what I think it is, I'm gonna say I told you all. I told you.
it's MCU. You're going to see it.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
Unless
are, because
I'll
we're going to talk
see
about
it.
the show.
I'll
You're
see
going to
it,
have to
but
watch it.
wink, wink. I ain't paying.
It's fine. At least you see it, right? So
Come on, Joe.
No,
wait the 45 days and it'll be on Disney Plus. Is that what you're going to kind of do, or what? So,
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what he does.
yeah.
Yeah, those are our thoughts on the Hawkeye trailer. Let us know what your thoughts are about it. Want to hear from you guys. Again, drop it in the comments. Join the chat. Why don't you? Next, something that dropped. We're not gonna talk a lot about this. It's just kind of interesting, right? So a few hours ago, actually, this came up. HBO Max and Warner Brothers are developing a spin-off series from the Batman featuring Robert Pattinson. And this spin-off series is going to focus around Penguin and sort of his
Ooh.
rise to infamy in Gotham. So a sort of a prequel, if you will, to the Batman, perhaps. Colin Farrell has been approached to reprise his role for this series. No deal has been made yet, but I want to ask you guys what your thoughts are. Are you interested in seeing an HBO Max series featuring the Penguin? JC, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I want to see some villain origin stories. I've been saying I want a Palpatine origin story on Star Wars. So if this, I know this isn't Disney, but if this is successful, we get some villain origin stories. Maybe we're slowly getting to that. What got these people to this point?
Sure.
We got that with the Joker movie. So I'm intrigued to see how this develops and how this gets created. So, the Raiders just won in overtime, by the way. Anybody have that on their pick'em?
Wow. No. Nope.
Wow. So there you go. Yeah.
Joe, what about you, man? Penguin show, you in or out?
Nah, I'm out, dude. They've already been there, done that, dude. Like, show me something different. Go for another
This is
villain.
different. What do you mean?
Yeah.
No, man. They already had the Penguin already before, and that other Gotham series that came out on Fox.
Okay, they did.
I'm
They
like,
had
come
that.
on, man.
This
We
one
already
will be
saw the
Gotham.
Joker,
That
right?
wasn't Gotham.
We saw the Joker in that series. We saw the Penguin in that series. You probably
I mean,
even
we
had
saw
Two
every
Face
villain
in
in
there.
that series.
Like I want to see the Man Bat. I want to see Clayface. Show me something different, man.
I'm down with Clayface. Yeah.
Show me something different. And then another one, Penguin again. I'm just like, no.
To me, it's interesting that now this is a second spin-off series that is spinning off from Matt Reeves' Batman film. They already announced the Gotham TV series that will kind of focus around Gotham PD. Should have Commissioner Gordon in there somewhere, hopefully. And then this would be the second one spinning off from the Batman film. We also have other TV shows that have been announced: Peacemaker, Green Lantern, as well as Justice League Dark, being who's which is being produced by J.J. Abrams. So
Excuse
it's
me.
it's interesting to me that they're making another spin-off series from the Batman. I think they're really putting a lot of value, and they are investing a lot into this new Matt Reeves franchise. I guess they really want to build off of it, and I don't think more content is a bad thing. I hope that it goes well. I'm gonna watch it for sure. Hopefully they can get Colin Farrell to say yes.
Well, they're
I
gonna get
also
Colin
wouldn't
Farrell. They might as well
mind.
get Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Mr. Freeze too.
Oh, please no.
Freeze, however he says it.
Everybody
Yep,
freeze.
there you go, man.
Today's forecast: a freeze.
Nope.
No, no more bad puns, please. Yeah, let's do without that. All right, but that's the story featuring the Penguin. More to come, I'm sure, once we know more. Now for some rapid fire headlines, real quick. Haley Atwell will voice Lara Croft in the Netflix anime Tomb Raider series. Anytime I get to hear Haley Atwell, that's fine by me. Variety is reporting that Amazon is in the very early stages of developing a live action She-Ra series. My wife is very excited about that.
Mine too.
Congratulations to The Mandalorian. They won 7 Emmy Awards last night. And congratulations to WandaVision, who won 3 Emmy Awards, including an Outstanding Original Music Award for It Was Agatha All Along. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na. So congrats to all of them. Wonderful. A Bob's Burger movie has been announced. It will be released sometime next year. Marvel Studios won't be slowing down anytime soon. They've claimed 4 release dates in the year 2024: February 16th, May 3rd, July 26th, and November 8th. Your guess is as good as mine as what those dates might be. Just throwing it out there: Fantastic Four, Blade, probably an
X
Avengers
Men.
film in there somewhere. Deadpool possibly by then.
I hope.
Early, probably that February 16th. I could see that first one being the first Deadpool movie under the MCU umbrella or under the Marvel Studios umbrella. I could easily see that. And then last but definitely not least, Halloween Kills will be released both in theaters as well as on the Peacock streaming app on October 15th. If you are already a premium Peacock subscriber or premium member, there's no additional fee for you. Looks like JC is, so
That's how I watch WWE Network.
we're gonna use his account for everything.
Probably.
I also have Peacock too. I got it when they were showing all the Olympic games and whatnot.
There you
Yeah.
go. And if you are not a premium subscriber, there will be an additional charge for the new release movies, such as Halloween Kills. But while I am a little disappointed that it won't be an exclusive to the theaters and it might hurt the box office a little bit, I am glad that they're actually taking into account the fans and making it safer for those who don't want to go to the theater to be able to watch it. So that's great. What if episode number 6 will focus around Killmonger dropping Wednesday? We'll be talking about that next Monday. And real quick, JC and Joe, which of those headlines are you most interested in? Joe, we'll start with you.
Probably What If and watching Killmonger, seeing what he actually does. Because I believe in this one, isn't he the one that actually? I don't know what they're gonna do, but in his appearance, didn't he? Well, he wasn't he the one that actually saved Tony Stark in that reality?
I believe it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see where that leads him. I wonder if he actually winds up being the king of Wakanda. You know, the successor. So that'd be interesting.
There you go.
That would make the most sense. A lot of people have been wondering that. I'm kind of excited for that. Little update on this game, by the way. It turns out the Raiders were down at the 1, so they didn't score the touchdown to win the game. Then they had a false start penalty, and they just threw an interception in the end zone. So overtime game is still going on. So the Ravens just got the
Huh.
ball. I'm watching the feed with Eli and Peyton Manning, and they have Russell Wilson on right there. And they all
Hey,
just
Eli
like,
and
oh
Peyton
my
are
God.
hilarious, dude.
They are, and Russell Wilson's on there watching. Is like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? But off of the highlights, yeah, I'm very interested in this what if episode. I really did enjoy the zombies thing. I thought that was very interesting.
It was all right. It's
It
all
was
right.
it was just fun. It was just a fun thing. I thought it was hilarious that Spider-Man's making a survival guide. But I mean, it was all just good fun. I think that was been the whole point of these series has been we're just having fun with it. And I got to say, zombie Thanos is scary as hell. But yeah, this one I think a lot of people have been wanting to see more Killmonger since the Black Panther movie. Um, partially people hoping he's not dead. So at least what if will give us some sort of closure with that? You think with for Michael B. Jordan's role in this, and I think that's gonna be really interesting.
There you go. And I'm actually going to take something back that I mentioned about what if.
Okay.
I expected there to be some sort of fork in the road where sort of these stories would converge into like one episode. We would have some little like cross play, if you will,
Yeah.
across these timelines. But no, I don't think so. I think these are just one and done stories, much like the Doctor Strange one. Uh, Unfortunately, they don't all have happy endings. A lot of them have very sad endings, including this past one with the zombies. I too, I guess I'll consider myself a zombie aficionado. Just enjoyed the zombie trope, all the zombie movie tropes, because it's pulling from a lot of different things. Some old school movie situations, scenarios, some like Shaun of the Dead type stuff, some Zombieland type stuff. There's a little bit of humor, there's a little bit of drama, there's a little bit of everything. You even got like a train scene, which if you watch zombie movies, there's always like a train scene in a zombie movie somewhere.
Right.
So all good stuff. I enjoyed it.
I thought Doctor
And then
Strange was
another
was
sad ending
better.
though. Another sad ending. And if you
Well,
ask
wasn't it kind of
me,
left it open ended? Like
I don't think so because you have zombie Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, like, what's to stop him from already using it then? I think it's
he's
sort of
missing
a
the mind
not to
stone. But
be
yeah,
continued. True,
yeah,
missing the one. It's not a I don't know if it's gonna be a to be continued or if it's just gonna be a, this won't end well. Very much
yeah.
like, Zack Snyder's, Day of the Dead movie where, like, you thought you had a happy ending and then they get over to the island and then everybody dies. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. What were you gonna
Yeah.
say, Joe?
No, I said I like the Doctor Strange episode of What If a lot more.
I did enjoy that, even though it was a dark ending. I like that it was.
Sure.
It was, it's one of these roads that you take goes to a bad place, and I like that. Like not everything was a happy ending. One of these timelines goes literally to the end of the world, the end of the universe. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting just to explore that. So
Yeah, I think
uh,
one of these what ifs though, Ted, might actually tie into something. Either going to tie into WandaVision, maybe it might tie into Loki, but I think it might
Mm.
tie into something. Maybe the last
yeah.
one is what they're waiting on.
I wouldn't mind it. I feel like Marvel has so much going on. Why create another challenge for themselves? So right now, I'm thinking it won't. They'll just leave it at, um, you know, uh, the one who remains. He who remains
He's
is
right.
dead. Everything goes chaotic. All these branch timelines and
What if they
whatnot,
have a what if
and that
episode where he
creates.
survives? That would be
Say
dope.
what?
What if they have a what if episode where he actually survived instead of Sylvie
No, you
killing him?
can't. You
You know,
can't. I think that's the
but it's
only
a what if.
constant because he was
His
at
death
the
is
end of
what sparks
time.
this whole thing. His death
Yeah,
is what sparks all
but I'm
these.
saying, what if they? It's again, what if? What if
You
this
can't,
happened?
Joe, because he
What
was at the
if?
end of time. He wasn't anywhere
It's a
near
what if,
like
Ted.
a
Anything can
part.
happen.
He was
Yeah.
past
Okay.
the threshold.
He
It's
was
like a
that
funnel.
he was at the end of the timeline, but his death brought all these variants and these what if scenarios in the past of where he was, obviously. So I think that's kind of why they waited on what if to do it until after He Who Remains is dead. So yeah, I can see that. If they ever do explore some sort of thing where he lives, or maybe Loki's the one that takes over instead of Sylvie, maybe. But yeah,
That'd be interesting too. I'd like
that
to
might be
see that.
interesting. Yeah, I can see that. But either
There
way,
you go.
He Who Remains is dying. He's wanting to die at that point.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. All right. I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast. Again, let us know what your thoughts are about the Matrix trailer, about the Hawkeye trailer, about the What If. What's been your favorite episode so far? We want to hear from you guys. Drop whichever one in the comments, or you can always message us by clicking the send message button on Facebook, or email us on the contact page of our website at www.countdowntothegeekcast.com. I can't forget to remind you guys, thank you so much for downloading the podcast version of this. If you're not watching the live stream, you're probably downloading the audio version of this. And it would also help us out a lot if you would drop us a 5-star rating on Apple iTunes if you love the show. And be sure, just go ahead, drop us a review. Why don't you? That would help us tremendously, and we'd really appreciate it.
If you give
For the
us a 5-star
Geekcast,
rating, Ted will do the spinneroonie, a la Booker T.
and
So get all your friends
Joe
to do 5-star ratings. Joe will watch Grease too.
Oh no, never.
and if
I'd
you give
rather
us a
take a dip
5-star
in the.
rating, JC's gonna do the shuffle truffle.
I'd rather take a dip in
Truffle
this Tower
shuffle?
of
No, y'all don't
America's
want that.
tower, man. That little pool right there.
If I do the truffle shuffle, we're not gonna be allowed to stream anymore. That's for damn sure.
It works for all the other
This is a
streamers
family
out
show,
there.
JC.
Huh?
This is a family show,
This is
JC.
a family show. We'd have to get onto a Patreon or OnlyFans for that kind of
Only fans.
shit. Yeah.
You know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it here. All right, that'll do it. I'm gonna have folks for the Geekcast. My name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as JC.
I swear nobody wants to win this Monday night game because the Ravens just turned the ball over. The
Still
Raiders got
tied. I'm looking at it right now.
Actually, somebody just won it.
No, really? Okay, then I'm
Really,
behind on the
really.
stream. I'm watching it on my Roku. But
I won't
thanks
say
for
who.
okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I swear to God, if it's the Ravens throwing a picks,
There's
if they
still
catch a picks,
4:31 left.
yeah. Thanks for
Over.
watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Check out Sports Minorities. Check out the WrestleCast tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about. Going to talk about a Texan becoming the first Ring of Honor Women's Champion at 19 years old. Congrats to Roxy, a Laredo native. I see the game-winning touchdown now. The Raiders finally won. And also, we're going to talk about the WrestleCast. Talk about Big E getting his Money in the Bank cash in tonight on Raw and becoming the WWE Champion. And yeah, and we'll be on the WrestleCast tomorrow. Come check us out. So
yeah, it officially came to an end.
Yeah.
And we got the man behind the magic, the one and only Joe Garcia.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. We greatly appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night. We'll see you next week.